Hi, this is Ronald Johnson, your life coach, mentor coach. And what I do is I help people that are tired of who they are and where they are in life.
And this is Gloria, your life coach. I help those who are feeling stuck, struggling with difficulties such as self doubt, inner judgment, lack of confidence, life transitions, and taking steps forward.
And welcome to Life's a Shuffle podcast. Now, you may wonder why it's called Life's a Shuffle. And the reason why we came up with this title is that life is really shuffling. It doesn't matter where you come from, your background, what age you are, you're shuffling multiple things in life. And the best thing to know in life is everybody faces your struggles and everybody faces what you're going through. But there's hope in learning something about that. So when our guests share their journey, the hope is you learn something in that journey so yourself can navigate the struggles you face, the low self-esteem, the self-confidence, and that's why we call podcast Life's a Shuffle.
And throughout this podcast, we share our personal overcoming stories, as well as our guests who shares their personal journey in overcoming their personal struggles. Life's a Shuffle podcast is here to connect like-minded individuals.
And thank you for listening to Life's a Shuffle podcast. Now we are live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our first Freestyle Thursday live using StreamYard. This looks like to be amazing software. First time using it, but let's see how it works here. I never went live before outside Zoom. Now I'm seeing we all at this point zoomed out. So now I'm in StreamYard is the next thing for a podcast. So we're live here. It's Washington. I think it's 6:05 p.m. I think Laura's in California, same time zone. And wow, I'm excited. First time live, first time seeing my favorite color red. You guys know, they don't know, you can see it, but you probably can't, as I love fish tanks too, so I have my aquarium in the background, but red is my favorite color, if you can see that. I'm super excited. So, as usual, this is Ronald Johnson, your mindfulness coach, and welcome to the Freestyle Thursday.
Yes, and this is Gloria, mindfulness coach. And again, welcome, and hope you guys are all tuning in right now to another what we call live episode of Life's a Shuffle.
Life's a Shuffle.
Yeah.
So here we go, first time. So today, what I came up, not with, but what I was thinking about is, how last week I talked about Ray. Her and I did a breakthrough. She's a spiritual coach, and this is something I want to challenge myself doing. And after that breakthrough, it's like 2 days back to back. So one day is like 3 hours, one day's 4 hours. I may have mixed up, it doesn't matter. You kind of get really tired because what we do is that when you do a breakthrough session, and for those that don't understand, what it is that in the breakthrough session, easy way to describe it is your body, your mind has been uploaded software, and that's your program has been for however old you are, it's been your program for so many years. When we do a breakthrough session, it's taking out that software and putting new software, right? And sometimes as you go, when you update your phone or update your Mac, and it takes a while for things to get updated and work properly. Same thing happens for the human body. But for me, it's more, I got tired, I was sleeping in more, and I do this thing called Voxer. For those that don't know what Voxer is, it's pretty much an app you can talk to people on, or in this case, for coaches, is what we do. And I'm a coach, and I use for my clients, and she's a coach, and she uses for her clients. And it hit me like a unconscious thought. Other day when I was just driving, got my dog off at the daycare, was we have this question of who we are and where do we belong? Like, who are you and where do you belong? And that's what we try to find in life is we find religion, we find groups, we find people, we find things to do to feel a sense of belonging. So after this breakthrough session, now I'm saying to myself, where do I belong? And who am I? And that's one of the hard things to figure out. You think you know who you are, which obviously once you have a breakthrough session and all the things you're holding on to. So in our life, we hold on to anger, we can hold on to resentment, we can hold on all these past events, and those past events become how we see life and how we see our filters in our life. So even though you may be, in my case, 37 or older or younger, what has happened to you in life is how you view the life. So if you've had, let's say, a guy cheat on you constantly in a relationship, you think every guy's a cheater, and vice versa. If all the time you say you're not getting a job because you have enough education, then you tend to believe that I can't apply a new job because I've been failed so many times because I have the right education. Now, if you become a doctor, you need a certain amount of credentials to become a doctor or a nurse. But I hope you guys get the idea is that you have to really realize what is your beliefs and where it's come from. And I talked about this before in my podcast about religion belief. I've been listening to, a prolific amount of YouTube videos, as they call them apostates, as the quotes will go, but ex witnesses. And man, the things we believed and we truly didn't understand are still there, and it's only growing because now with YouTube and other different avenues, people are being reached. Back to my point of who I am, where I belong, is now I'm thinking, well, what do I do for myself? you know, I'm always consistently caught up with videos, podcasts, working. We got a virtual seminar coming up, so I got a lot of things I'm always doing, do. But what one thing have I incorporated to do something for myself? So my point is, when I Fox Ray this morning, tell who I am, where I belong. I've not done anything for self care. And I obviously gratitude's part of my daily thing, so don't worry about that. But self care, like she is, talking to me and saying, "Well, what about painting, artists?" And I don't like to paint. I never like to draw. Like drawing a stick figure was the closest you get out of me. So the circle, sticks, and that's about it. Then I really started diving deep. Is what do I like to do? And I really like working with my hands. And if you guys don't know that about me, I ran into the RC world big time. So with YouTube, I found a prolific amount of videos with people discussing about, RC cars, racing, stuff like that. So for me, this is where I'm going to use my self care. Is I'm thinking about buying another RC car, get into racing, which I've never done before. I enjoy watching the car go around, people win, but building it from scratch and just having a hell of a time. And that's, for some people, maybe reading a book but something that allows you to be at peace is the whole purpose of self care. Not just doing, like, not just, well, I'm going to read a book, but something that allows your conscious mind to really um, come up and to really think through things in a process. So the only thing is that when you want to do something like a hobby means fun. It costs money. So I'm like, should I? Should I not? Should I? Should I not? I'm going back and forth. And I should just pull the trigger. And 'cause I remember as a kid growing up, buying these kits, building it up, putting the engine together, starting it up. Because I like the ones that are not electric, but have the little gas engine. Think about doing that. I don't know. What do
Why
you think,
not?
Gloria? I can tell you the only thing stopping me is well, I gotta spend the money on this and I should be spending on something else. How our belief comes in that if we spend it,
Yeah.
we won't have enough.
Mhm.
So I just gotta find out. I was looking online earlier. I found this. Obviously, you can find anything you want online, but sometimes in certain hobbies, it's best to go find that local mom and pop shop where you can actually talk to people and get all the stuff you need because it's so confusing online. Like the same product can be on two different websites, but two different websites will have two different information. One be very detailed, one will be less detailed, one will be missing, one don't be missing. Like one of them will list what you need to have, then one will list what you don't need to have, then one will miss this one that says what you need to have, but this it doesn't include it on here. So I should go to the store, buy it, talk to people, and support that local business. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think that, I think especially nowadays, self-care is very, 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 very important. I can't even stress that enough. You know, um, I mean, you hear so many people just trying to figure out what to do. I think this past year that we've gone through, this what it should have been or would have been the time that you kind of figure yourself who you really are. I think the biggest question is, who am I? Who is
Yeah.
myself? You, like, who is this person right here, right now? And I think that's what you've been doing. I think the
Yeah.
discovery that you're going through right now is figuring out where you belong, who you really are. You know what? I've learned this recently from someone, and what it is, God, it was another female, and we're just kind of having a conversation about what we're going through, the changes that we're going through when you reach a certain age, right? So it's another stage of puberty. She said, I will never
That
forget, she said, I'm
that's a
going
real
through,
one. I never heard
no,
that.
it is, yeah. So she said, we're going through another stage of puberty, a second stage of puberty or something, you know? And I was like, God, that is so true because when you reach a certain age in your teenage years, you go through puberty.
Mhm.
And when that happens, you're trying to figure out where you belong,
Wow.
right? You're trying to figure out, who am I? Where do I belong? And that's the stage where you're either trying to fit in or you're trying to be yourself and you're trying to find yourself, who you truly are. That usually happens around middle school to high school. And kids go through that all the way through high school. They get to high school, out of high school, then they finally figure out, okay, this is who I am. And then, but we go through this certain stage. And then now at this stage in life, I would say maybe late 30s, 40s, where they call the middle age, we're going through another process of that. And it's like another stage of puberty. Who are we now, right? I know it sounds funny.
No, I like it. I never heard it before. I was going through my breakthrough session with Ray. Um, so she was saying between 37, which age I am now, and older, like
Mhm.
45, you go through this spiritual evolution and change. I mean, have you heard the saying that as you get older, you care less about something or you care less about what people think?
Yeah,
So as
yeah.
we're going through this evolution, we're caring less about what people think or what's important to us, but what's important for our own personal, mental, and physical health. Like I can't go.
Mhm.
I don't have no problem going to the gym every day, but is that really fueling that empty bucket I have? Right?
Mhm.
Like how you going through puberty right now. I mean, it's like fresh start, man. But
It
so
is.
how does that feel?
It's you know what? It's different. For me, I don't know how it is for you, so I'm gonna speak for myself, and you're probably feeling the same way. For me now at this stage, it just feels good, and I feel like sometimes I caught myself while I was driving, telling myself, "Man, this is Gloria version 3.0 or 4.0, whatever version I'm
Dot
at
X.
now." Yeah, or something. But I know that, and I feel the changes in me, and I feel everything coming in, but more so the changes I'm feeling is right here.
Mhm,
Like, everything is right here. But when this changes inside, when you've really reached in there and dug in deeply, everything else around you changes.
mhm,
It's almost like your whole world is changing as well, right? It's how you perceive everything changes. Your perspective in life changes. But I really like that version when she said, gosh, you were just going through another stage of puberty. I'm like, damn, that is so true because I had to think back my teenage years. But it's not just me, and I also see this with a lot of the kids, as we know, that's usually the age, and we always catch people saying, "Oh, they're going through that stage. They're at that age right now because they're going through changes." But if you think back with yourself, when you were at that age, you yourself was trying to figure out where you belong and who you really are, right? So now you're at that other stage now. Once it's an evolution now, right? So spiritual quality for you. I finished my inner engineering course,
mhm.
and boy, is that like it's crazy. And then that actually made a huge difference in me. Um, That's where I again, like you, I realize I know where the changes is happening. The change is happening here. And this really it means a lot. So now I'm on another stage of I'm still, I think, in the inner engineering part of it, but I'm doing it's a Hawaiian one called Ho'oponopono. And again, that also is part of the inner engineering, but it's very mind-boggling. Everything is, but a lot of it is making so much sense,
Look at
and
that.
yeah. I was telling a friend about this recently, and I was telling her, well, it's kind of like soul searching, right? And she made a comment about soul searching. She said, I don't know if I could do that because I just can't. I said, well, you don't really necessarily have to think of it as soul searching, but a lot of things will make better sense for you. You could still live your life. You could still living the way you're living right now. You don't have to change the way you're living. Things will just make better sense for you.
You know what? Was that Angelique that said it? You're going through that stage of puberty? Was it her?
No, no, no. I was it was it was
I
I was
thought
doing
so.
no, I was doing a UJAM on virtually with some of the women that I used to do UJAM with in person, and it was one of them. It was one of the guests that was doing UJAM with us. And usually after the class, we sit down and we talk for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, just catching up, and whatever comes up, kind of like what we're doing right now, whatever comes up. And that came up was because we're all pretty much in the same age. And what came up was what's going on with our body? What are we feeling? And that's when that popped up like, oh, it's another stage of puberty. And boy, was I laughing on that one.
I want to say, folks, men go through the same thing. So, women always go through different stages. Everybody goes through different stages at different times in life. So, men go through the same thing. How you're feeling in your heart, me, it's more of a depressing feeling. Like, I'm feeling, fuck, like, what I've been doing my whole life. Like, when I was going through puberty, let's say 15, 16, it was trying to fit in. It was like, okay, I got to buy the clothes, I got to act a certain way, I got to be a sports team, got to play sports. Now, as I'm older, like, I don't care about that. I care about the life I'm living right now. I care about the people I'm helping right now. I care about what makes me happy. I care about the things that are more meaningful, or better yet, let's say they're more in line with my principles. Like, all of us have a set of principles we live by. And when I did mine, so I have it right here written down, mine were this is my 10 principles: flexible time, space, purpose, passion, happiness, financial security. This is a scale from 1 to 10. What do I love? Helping people, peace, and travel. So it's funny how I gave so much power for so many years to having financial flexibility, but now my top 10 values or my top 5 values are flexible time, space, purpose, and passion. So flexible time to do what I love, which gives me
Mhm.
energy. Space means space to think. So what's good about Washington is a lot of space out here to think, and fresh air. It's just so much more different in California. Purpose. My purpose I always think about now is who can I help, and how can I help them? And that's what I'm like. I'm all about. It's like what's my purpose in life is to help people because I've been there, and you can live a better life. Passion. What am I passionate about? I'm passionate about sharing my fucking story. That's what I'm passionate about. Happiness, sharing my story. I mean, so how you feel so much gratitude in your heart, and it's like more or less I feel down, like, man, what kind of life have I been living these last couple of years, or for up until this awakening, right? What life have I been living? Like, I listen to this guy called Lloyd Evans. He's the actual witness, and I'm obviously now I grew up Jehovah's Witness. I'm not a Jehovah's Witness. I'm more a spiritual person, but he talked about the book Conscious of Christ. And I might read it because, growing up Jehovah's Witness, we believe this is the only religion, not spirituality. And if you don't do this religion, you're going to die. So when I thought to myself, coming out to my mom and telling her, look, you know what, I respect the fact you're Jehovah's Witness, and I respect Dad because he's Jehovah's Witness, and anybody else because that's a religion, but I don't want that religion. And coming out the closet, as I would say, it felt so gratifying. Like, fuck, I stand with my power. I came out. I was scared. I was nervous because it's like, what's she going to say? Is she going to read me Bible scripture? It was like, glanced over. Oh, no, Joe doesn't want no one to be part of him. That Joe does not want nobody to be a part of him that doesn't love him. It's like, whatever that means. I mean, I don't know what that means, And in reality, I think God loves everybody, right? So
Mhm.
if I challenge something or I now believe something new, Will God love me any less? That's a false pretense. No, he loves you the same. You just have more awareness.
That's just you
And
thinking that way.
that's just me thinking that way. And it's not. And it's like, fuck, it feels so good now. I mean, you know what? Really digging deep in my consciousness, the unconscious feelings, I feel empowered. I'm doing what if I don't have one life to live.
I'm, mhm. I'm curious though.
Go ahead.
If you were to think back, why was it when you go back thinking about how you were living your life before, why would that make you feel depressed if you feel like look where you're at now. If you're living a better life, living a better life now, why would you want to look back and say that what kind of life I was living and then that just makes you depressed?
What makes me depressed is that the question is, who am I and where do I belong? So the pressing part is, where do I fit in? And if I do belong or if I need to belong. So really is before we're tied to being belonging, right? So I'm tied to being belonging to religion because it gives me self-worth, or I'm tied to making money because it gives me self-worth. But now realizing those things are not my top five values. Let's look at my list again. So
Mhm.
it's like, man, of course, it's a beautiful knowing that I am where I am because it's giving me more gratification. But I'm not depressed about where I am. I'm more depressed, like, what's next?
Why?
Because what is next? Who I am and where to
Are you
belong.
scared? Is there some kind of fear there?
There's no fear. There's no fear. It's just, growing Jehovah's Witness. Here's the idea. The idea is that if we die today, we'll live in paradise, right? And
Mhm.
if our loved ones, like say my dad died 5 years ago, I will see in paradise whenever that is supposed to come. But the reality is, there is no paradise. Paradise is now. Paradise is in the moment. So I'm gonna live the life I can
Amen.
in this moment, and not really be depressed about what's not happening. Be happy what is happening. I was reading Susan Jeffers' book this morning. Feel the fear and do it anyways. It's the way to really live the life you choose to live is, here's the idea. Think positive. Think positive. Think positive. Fuck, it's not happening. Why? Okay, because it's not about just thinking positive. It's really about reframing things in your mind.
Mhm.
No difference than waking up every day. What I say to myself as a new affirmation is trust the process. Things happen perfectly where they should be. So that's how you train the mind to think positive. It just doesn't happen to you. Just grab out the sky and upload it. And I think positive.
Yeah, no, and that's usually the hard part. It's reframing and changing your mindset. That's always the hardest part because you can sit there and you can keep telling yourself, no, 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 this is not how it is. It's gonna work. I'm gonna make this happen. Although deep down you feel like it's not gonna work and it's not gonna happen for you. But like what you said, it takes practice. You have to keep telling yourself that. And what I've learned on this whole one is that you have the other way of reframing their mindset is to say, um, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you.
Please. Wait a minute. Where have I heard that from? Ray taught me that. That's where I heard it from. Who else said that?
Michelle Quay?
Yep.
Yeah,
Because what it does is it's really helping you practice your own affirmations and promoting
mhm,
self-care at the same
yeah,
time.
and let me tell you, I've been doing that. I'm not gonna say I mean, it's not like I've been doing it every day, but I have been doing it, and it really does take practice. Like, I gotta it's like telling yourself you love yourself.
Mhm.
We're not perfect, right? No, but we're just humans. We all make mistakes, right? And for every little thing to kind of reframe your mindset, maybe that's another way of practicing it. And you just kind of take a step back a little bit and you just tell yourself that, like, look, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and I love you and thank you. And you just keep saying that, saying that, saying that, saying that. and you get used to it, and it really totally changes everything for you about thinking positive.
It does because, I mean, tell me what point in your life through school or through life up until this point has someone ever taught you how to love yourself? Or say to yourself, you know what, even though you didn't do the things you wanted to, you did the best of your abilities at that time.
Right. Nobody did. And
And
this is what I'm sorry to cut you off. This is what this program is about.
I can see
I'm
you're
very
super excited.
I'm very excited about it because it's really like I'm so tuned in on this because it really does make sense. Dr. Lin, the guy who is the who was all about this, is he has a PhD. And he himself said, I went to school. I have a PhD. I thought I was educated and I learned all this, but he said, but nobody ever taught me anything here, like inside you, right? Nobody taught you that. What do you learn at school? You learn strategies, technique, math, whatever. And he said, my PhD is like, it's still there, but it didn't teach him to be himself, who he is, and who he is now. Nobody teaches you that. Nobody teaches you to love yourself.
So our system is broken in a huge way. It's like a crater. It's getting bigger and bigger because we're taught logic, we're taught strategies, we're taught how to do this, how to do that, but we're not taught here. We're not taught, you know, the only way you become taught about self-care or gratitude and all this stuff is when you have an awakening moment. When something so severe in your life wakes you up, a death, you lose your job, you go broke, you lose your car, no roof over your head. These are waking up moments. But why does it take those kind of moments to wake you up to where you should be living or where you like to be living? I mean, I would hate the fact I had to go broke to wake me up, and I did. I filed bankruptcy. I've been broke. I mean, why did it take those moments to wake me up? But I take that as part of being in my journey. And what I mean by that is that I'm where I should be at the right time. Everything has happened perfectly. And I
Mhm.
can accept the fact those things were just part of us growing. And if no one taught you, like how many kids now know how to manage a checkbook? How many kids now know how to apply for credit or what credit really means or how does it work? I mean, we're still trying to navigate those smaller aspects of life, let alone who I am and where I belong, or freaking how do I love myself?
It's a work in progress. It's not, this is not something that once you've had your self discovery and you've worked on self development, you're done. No, this is a continual progress that it'll just keep, because you're going to keep going, you're going to keep growing, you're going to keep changing. Like what you said, it's an evolution. I mean, this could be what we're on 3.0, 2.0. The next version of Ron will be someone else different. Maybe when you're 50, it's gonna be another. This is gonna be another version of you. You know what I mean? When you're 60, it's gonna change again. Because I keep looking back. Like lately, I've been doing the same thing with myself. I keep looking back when I was 20, 21, 25, 30, 35. 40, whatever. I'm gonna keep going, And who am I gonna be later on when I'm 50? I have this vision of myself. I had a vision. I never really, and I'm not gonna say that I didn't have any dreams. I had dreams, but I didn't really had this far vision of myself of who I'm going to be when I'm 30 or when I'm 40. All I know is as far as I can remember when I think back is I just wanted to do something for my mom and I wanted to give her the gift that she's always been wanting. Just someone who is, a good girl. I can't say I was perfect. I was kind of good. I stayed in school, obviously, and she wanted me to get a college degree, put myself to college. Yeah, I did that, and and I had a job, and just be a good girl, like a well disciplined girl. But I never really like looked further more of I didn't have like maybe I didn't have a big dream. Maybe my dream was already big enough for me. And that was my dream was, let me give her this gift because, her and I have suffered a lot, in her, growing up with her just being a single mom. So I didn't want to see that suffering. I think I that pushed me to, well, I need to keep growing for her and myself because how are we going to survive? It's
Hmm.
just it's just her and myself. Can't depend on everybody else. You know what I mean? Although we've got family, but still, I had that mindset. But you know, yeah, evolution. We're just gonna keep changing. We're gonna keep discovering something about ourselves, and that's why this is what we say this is a continual thing. And I feel like when I look back, in my 20s, 30s, whatever, even in my teens, I've realized, man, I've really been going through some changes.
Hmm.
I've tested the waters. I did other stuff that, out of curiosity. And I was once there because I wanted to belong. I needed to figure out who am I really? Where do I belong? And obviously, as we get older, we don't care anymore. We just want to be ourselves. And as you get older, as you figure who you are, and as you show your true, authentic you to the world, your circle gets smaller, smaller, and smaller. And as it gets smaller, when I mean circle, could be circle of friends, family, whatever you surround yourself with. And as it gets smaller, you just, not that you don't care anymore, you would still care, but you learn to accept it. Because when
Is-
you accept all that, you accept this, who you are too.
That's certainly true. You know what happens as you change, or we're always evolving, right? Gloria 2.0, Gloria 2.1, Ron 3.0, 3.1, whatever. What tends to happen is that our closest people to us, our mates, our friends, our family members, reject what we are because they quite don't know what's happening, how to react to it. So the
Mhm.
old adage is like attracts like, or birds of feather flock together, or equal to opposite reaction. Those all can describe what's happening. But on the flip side, even though the relationships with your friends, family, close members that you love may be changing, they have a choice to change with you or not change
Mhm.
at all. Because you're changing, what new relationships will you build? What new learning will you take on? What new environments will you be a part about? I mean, just a year ago, I mean, we were even thinking about doing a podcast, and now we're doing it live. I mean,
Yeah.
just 3 years ago, I didn't think about joining IPAC and becoming ACC certified. I'm doing it now because as you tend to be more authentic or live what in your purpose, conquering fears, down, self-esteem, you start to realize what's really important to you and what matters the most.
And you know what? The greatest thing about that too is when you talk about attracting others, then you end up connecting with those who understands you or who is just as authentic as you. And that's what I love about this whole thing is because we have connected with so many great people.
Oh my God.
I
Yes.
can't I can't even, like I can't even stress enough how wonderful that feels because just connecting with those people and just sometimes a day to day, like let's say just texting, emailing, and asking for support or anything, they're right on. Like if you need their support, they're right there for you. But it's just so crazy, like crazy good. I feel good about it. I can't, I know that this past year had been it's been a lot of challenges for a lot of people. Granted, I know so many, it's sad and it sucks of what was happening. But at the same time, I gotta look at, like us, we have to train our mindset on this. We have to train of looking at the good side of this. There's a lot of good things that had happened if we really look into it. You know what I mean?
Well, those strategies, if all you see is the bad, if all you focus on is the bad, all you see is the bad. If you focus on reframing, you'll see the good in everything. I mean,
Yeah.
just think about we started a podcast last year, and now we're doing our own website. So those out there are www.lifesashuffle.com. We'll be launching
So
and coming
excited.
coming to whatever browser you use, Safari, Chrome, or Firefox, whatever, coming
Yeah.
to you soon. So it's when you start breaking these old paradigms or beliefs. One book to pick up is Jordan's his first name, don't remember the last name, but it's called 12 Rules to Life. It talks about shared belief systems. And if you look at your friend and especially religion, those are all shared belief systems. But once you start switching up
Yeah.
that shared belief system, you never know what's on the other side of that coin. As we're becoming better at getting out there in a podcast, coaching, something in your life out there, those that are listening to this and watching it, in your life, there may be something happening you don't like, something that you don't feel good about, or something you do, whatever. But if there's something bad in your life that's not going the way you want to. Flip that coin. Just take it, like take for example, where's it at here? You guys can see it. It's a rock. There's a problem, right?
I
And
remember
remember
that
there it
rock.
is,
Yeah.
and a
Yeah.
solution. So if you see a problem, you look down, okay, I have a problem. Flip it over. Unconsciously, you'll find the solution. So what I do, I keep mine permanently flipped over where it says solution. So I always find a
Solution.
solution.
That's a good one.
Solutions.
I
Always.
carry that in my bag.
What did IPEC say? Life offers you no challenges or problems, but only solutions. Life always offers you a solution to whatever problem you're facing.
There really is always a solution, you just really have to. I think the problem sometimes is at facing it and accepting it.
Yeah.
Or just taking that moment to just actually give yourself some time to take a moment and think about it. There really is a solution because what happens is we're so caught up with, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. This is not working for me. It's not gonna work. I need to. We don't think about moving forward. We dwell on what's not working and what is some weird things happening to us or whatever it is that we don't agree on, and or like bad things are happening for you and you feel like it's the end of the world. But if you really, really just take that moment, I mean, let's talk about passion. You were talking about passion, right? So, I mean, there's so many great things out there. What are you really passionate about? What's the number one thing that you're passionate about doing? Passionate about helping people. Think, what is passionate to you? Passion for you?
Passion is giving up something from yourself. You don't expect something in return. Passion is something that brings happiness not to you, but to somebody else. So, like volunteer work is part of passion because you're helping somebody else out, which in turn helps you out. It's a passion to see someone smile on their face. It's passion to give
Mhm.
back. It's passion to help feed the homeless. It's passion because you have passion for something that you don't expect in return. We spend so much life
Right.
expecting I get education, returns I get a job, or I do this, I do that. No, it's passion with no strings attached. Doing something with no strings attached. That's what passion
Or
means for me.
yeah, or it could also be that passion is choosing something that is worth suffering for.
Yes.
When
See,
you
that means to
know
you.
what Yeah, when you know it's not gonna you don't know if it's gonna work or not. You don't know if it's gonna work out or not, but it's a passion.
Mhm.
So you're doing it because you love doing it, regardless of what happens, whether yeah, regardless of what happens. You're just doing it because you love to do it and you feel it. Like for me, I do what I do because I love what I'm doing. Sometimes I'm not thinking about how it's gonna turn out to be later on. Sometimes I'm not thinking about, is it gonna work out? Is our virtual seminar gonna work out? What's gonna happen?
Mhm.
Is people gonna believe in us or not? But it's a passion. So regardless of the turnout, I did it, we did it because this is what we love to do.
Mhm.
And we're just out there, like somebody, who was it? Denise. Oh yeah, Denise said, with us, we're not just out here with this podcast telling you guys what to do or lecturing you guys or telling you guys to listen and learn. We're reaching out because we want to help.
That's true. We
And
want to help.
yeah, we want to help. And this is what we love to do. Hearing our stories, our guest stories, because we know there's someone else out there who might be going through the same thing, or we're just putting a light in it in all this.
It's putting light on things that are not said unless you look for it. Like if I can look for what I'm saying, I can. If I go in there and type in Google, I'll find it. But if you don't know what you're looking for, you'll never
Oh,
find it.
yeah.
I mean, how many times have you really wanted some help and really wanted to live a better life, but you're like, "Man, I'm stuck. I got kids. I got to pay rent. I got this. I got that." But damn well deep inside, that shit. I want to do something different. I want to do something different, but you never do it. Then you get to 70, 80, and like, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Wish I
Yeah,
did it sooner. I wish I had that right time. You know what? You only get one life to live.
you really do. And there's
And
always
life,
this thing that we say, YOLO.
it's a song, right? Years ago, YOLO. But I don't think that's popular anymore. But if you think to yourself, time is something you cannot buy or buy back. And once
Mhm.
it's gone, it's gone. And if you know time is something you can't buy or buy back, and time still goes on, what life do you want to live now?
And you can make it happen. Do you think about this? Do you really want to live and continue to live your life with what if I could have, I should have done this, should have done that? Let me tell you, I've done that. I've lived that life. But I'm not going to say that I'm not doing that. I still do that once in a while, but I am able to change and to shift my mindset because I did that for so many years. And there's some things that I missed out on because I told myself the same thing. I can't do that. I'm not going to be able to. I don't have time. I don't have money. But, now it was when I think back with that, it's not a great feeling. I really missed out on some things that I wish I would have done, but I can't go back there now. I'm here now. So now I'm doing what I can now and what I want to do now. And let me tell you, if you really want to do it, you will do it and you will make it happen. So if you say you don't have time, you will have time for it and you will make time for it. You'll be able to manage things and be able to figure things out when this is really something that you want to do.
Once you have that passion, there's a way. If you're not
Yeah.
passionate about something, you always find difficulty. So I want to say, you know what? Thank you for listening to our first StreamYard Live Life's a Shuffle podcast episode. This is great. You
I'm
guys can see
loving
what we look
this.
like. If you haven't researched already, our website,
Yeah.
what we look like. Gloria's favorite color is pink, so she has pink headphones, as you can see, right? And we're here to know you can live a better life and knowing you can support yourself, knowing you can live your dreams because they're worthwhile. Because when you dream big. Because dreams do come true. What you want will come true, but it starts within. It starts
It
with
really
you.
does. It sure does.
And I want to say, if you guys want to join a podcast, be a guest, share your story, share your journey, reach out to us, life's with a S, A as an apple, shuffle at gmail.com. Or better yet, you know what? You want to make a comment? Go to our Facebook group, Life's a Shuffle. Make a comment, be a special guest, join us, share your story because your story has meaning, your story is your purpose, and your story is your passion. And this is Ronald Johnson, your mindfulness coach. Thanks for listening.
You didn't spell shuffle. Just
I didn't spell it.
kidding. No, it's all right.
Did I spell shuffle?
SHUFFLE in
Why?
case.
Yeah, make sure to get that double
But
L in there. Double F, I mean.
double F, not double
Yeah.
L. But anyway, yeah, and don't forget to if you can yeah, just continue to tune in. We have new episodes every week. And I think we would like to do this more often too. I kind of like this live showing too. You can join us if you have any comments, questions. Just let us know, email us, or comment on our Facebook page as well. And remember, every day, good vibes only.
Yeah, live within your purpose, baby. Live there.
Yes, and again, this is your mindfulness coach, Gloria. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Life's a Shuffle.